Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is now 6:30 PM. Emily, if you'd be so kind to do roll call.
Paul Hughes, Gerard Sanchez,
Here,
Ariel Hernandez,
Here.
Deb Moody,
Here.
Debbie Gregorian,
Here.
Wesley Cook,
Here.
Taylor Materio.
Here.
Okay, if everybody would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
And to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a new addition to our board. It's Taylor Materio. How do you say? Materio? Materio. I was almost there. Welcome to our board, and we,
Thank
if you wouldn't mind standing up, we're going to have to do the oath of office.
Do you want to come in the middle here, or
You can stay there.
I can stay there? Okay.
You have it in front of you. and
I do.
Just follow along.
Yes.
I, and then state your name, please.
I, Taylor Materio,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States
the Constitution and government of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
that I am qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of Code Enforcement Board Member
the duties of Code Enforcement Board Member
of the town of Lake Clark Shores, Florida,
of the town of Lake Clark Shores, Florida,
on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
That is it. You need to sign, put your name, and give it back to Emily.
That's good. Thank you.
Welcome, Taylor.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service now. Next will be the approval of the agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda.
Second. Second. Any
All,
discussion? Nothing? Okay. All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Okay. Now we have to do approval of the minutes of February 23rd Code Enforcement Board hearing. Which we just did. Right now we got to do the unfinished cases and now in compliance. Is that for you, Dana?
Yes. So on the first page, case number 22-0003, 1900 Carissa Road, that property is placed into compliance. On page 2, I'm going to go ahead and give you the new cases too, if that's okay.
Okay.
Do all at once. At the bottom, page 2, case number 22-0134 and 22-0135, Margaret A. Stewart. Both of those are placed into compliance. And then on to page 3, at the top, case number 22-0140, Yolanda Cuevas. That one is placed into compliance.
And I also have some for the business tax. Case number 22-0094. And then case number 22-0113. That's it.
That's it. Okay. Now new cases now, okay. Those are the unfinished. Any new cases that are now in compliance? That's all the same, right?
Yeah, I gave you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next on the agenda is I need a disclosure of visit. Has anyone visited any of the addresses?
Motion for the approving the agenda now.
Motion to approve the minutes.
The minutes. I mean.
Ah,
Thank you. Motion to
apologize.
move the-
Motions, yeah.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to, what was that?
To approve the consent agenda.
Okay, motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, now we're ready for the disclosures of
Yes.
visit? All right. Thank you. All right, has anyone visited any of the addresses that are being addressed this evening on our agenda?
No.
I haven't looked because we normally, let me see. Since you're bringing it up, normally we just bring it up as we discuss the case. No,
Okay. All right. Now is swearing in of the witnesses by the city attorney. All those that are going to be speaking must stand up.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give, be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. And now to cover the unfinished case lien and positioning hearing. Let's see, the first one is, I'm seeing case 220049,
Yes, that's correct.
Milagro Jimenez and trustee of Milagro Jimenez Living
Yes.
Trust. And where are we with that one?
So I took a new photo today. I noticed recently, nobody has contacted me, but I did notice recently they removed the dead tree, but they left the stump. I will say that it does appear that they must have been out of town. I'm not sure if someone was visiting the home or what, but one day when we drove by, the mailbox happened to be open and it was overflowing with mail. So I'm gonna say maybe they were out of town, maybe they just got back in town, got something, got the tree, but I was hoping someone would reach out to me so that I can let them know they need to finish to come into compliance.
Okay,
So maybe when they get the orders from this meeting. reach out. So there's still a stump, it's still in the same section.
okay. Case in point, they're still in violation.
Correct.
Okay, anyone have a motion?
and that's the photo from the
Yeah, I
original,
tried to-
or is that today?
No, the original was the full palm tree.
Oh,
So they
that's
cut
right.
that down and they just left the stump.
And is that stump flush with the ground? Well,
It doesn't matter, you can't have the stump here. You have to remove it, you have to stump grind it or completely remove it.
oh, okay. Thought you're allowed to eliminate it down to the level with the elevation, like
No.
just grind it to the
Yep.
level of the,
Yeah, it has to be free of dead trees and stumps.
okay.
That's what it says in the code violation, when the code book.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's all right.
all right. Does anyone have a motion?
I can make a motion. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 220049, I move that this board find the respondent in violation of sections 26-199, 26-21 dead tree in the front yard of the town code of ordinance and impose a fine in the amount of $25 per day commencing on April 27th, 2022, which shall continue to accrue until respondent comes into compliance, in addition to the town's cost of prosecuting the matter.
Second that one.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So Emily, another notice will be going out?
Yeah.
To this resident? Okay. Next case, case number 22-0050, Joseph Shearer and Cassandra Shearer. Hello,
How are you guys?
good, how you doing?
Good. I'm just trying to get in compliance with you guys.
No problem, glad you came in person.
I seem to be trending. Last time I was the only one too. So yeah, essentially what happened right now is I'd like to ask for an extension for my variance. I have all the paperwork here along with, it's almost ready to be submitted, but this is the first time I've ever applied for a variance. So I'm actually trying to utilize this in the best manner so I can get a proper application into the zoning board so it's done properly. Another kind of hiccup between, I would say, the town and I is when I guess Melissa got, I don't know if she left or one of the main people that was kind of, was it Melissa?
Mm-hmm.
Is she no longer with the town?
No, she's not here anymore.
So she left and she was kind of my main point of contact. So I never saw the email until I went through my junk mail. So essentially it's been almost about a month now and I got wind of it. What I've also done is I've talked with the neighbor I'm encroaching on and had them sign along with all my surrounding neighbors that they're in agreement with keeping the arbor. So I kind of did that campaigning as well, to just show, proactive, and also the person who's I'm encroaching on is, okay with it. So I'm asking for a little bit more time, to get this in. I've spoken with, I'm in real estate, so I spoke with a land use attorney, so I can, figure this out properly for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, there's my arbor. I'd like to finish it.
What's your variance for? What are you asking for?
I'm asking for on the setback. So that's that's part of my side yard. And one of the really nice parts about the property right there is that it's under an avocado tree. So I get a lot of I grow orchids and I got a lot of nice filtered light there, but yet enough light year round where it's an optimal area for me to, grow my orchids. So that's kind of what I'm asking for, is a variance on the setback to the side. Because essentially I'm not using it. I use it to put plants on. It's not a structure, you could be removed, but I did build it up to code. I have all my, NOA forms. I built it myself, all the hurricane straps. So, I built it properly. It wasn't cheap. And I'm applying for a variance because essentially that gives me access to be able to utilize that portion of my yard. And then also where I am on the lake, if I had that arbor, I wouldn't be able to grow the plants there because it's exposed. I have a big section of the open lake right there because I'm kind of in that little cut right there. So I get a ton of east wind and it's on a huge hill. So, there's really no other place for me to utilize this structure where I grow plants in. It's all going to be painted white to match my house. It's a small section, but it's built in a avocado tree. It's gorgeous. So I'm asking for a little more time for my variance.
Let me ask you, isn't the variance also for the height? I don't know. Is there a height variance
No.
as well that you're asking for? I don't know Dana, is there a code for how high it's supposed to be?
So I'm not sure when it comes to the trellises and things like that. I do know that on his paperwork he submitted, I think, I don't know if it was a typo, but he wrote the wrong height because it's over 8 feet. But when he does the variance, I'm sure they'll go over
So
all
you've
that.
applied for the construction permit.
I have applied
He-
for the construction permit.
Each-
So now I'm applying, it was rejected and that's what I received. So now I'm trying to go, apply for a variance.
Right. And I think that's the same status that we were at back in February.
No. Not to my knowledge.
Well,
From my understanding, I was told that if after they reviewed my permit, that then if it was rejected, I could apply for a variance. That was my understanding.
because it seems that our discussion was that you were going to need a variance.
Well, my permit had been rejected at that point.
Well, I'm prepared to make a motion to extend to grant the extension of, unless others want to continue discussing.
Signatures from my neighbors. I know I have more people that are willing to sign. And that's including the person next door to me. Across the street, all the immediate people right there.
Dana, is there anything in regard to like a speed bump and all that? Is there a certain amount of signature one has to receive? I'm just curious.
I've never known the town to go by a variance based on neighbors and things like that. It depends on what the board comes up with. Typically, people ask for variances before they build things. So there's a couple different factors. But I think at the last meeting, I don't remember if his permit had been rejected yet.
No,
Emily
well,
might be able to
it
look that up if you need that.
The date was post-dated when I received.
Do you have that? Because when they asked, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I already provided it to them.
Oh, then there's the answer to that question because I wasn't sure.
You need to see this.
Okay,
We need to enter the documents into evidence.
right.
So this says that.
But is he
plan
giving
review
you those
returned
or are
it.
those his?
Well, no, I
March
mean,
3rd.
I can send you guys copies in the morning. This is literally on my desk because it's being finalized to go into this. Review.
Emily, do you want me to just go make copies? Will that make it easier to help?
Sure.
I'll just bring
it's
them right
not-
back.
It's not fully done, but for the most part, I'm just waiting for a couple responses from, people to help advise on it.
I'll go make copies.
Here. And this is,
And then when can I motion for,
That's all of them?
well, that's what he gave us. What's those?
I can make copies of whatever we need. for
yeah,
the file.
I'm just,
Yep.
if it's all
And I'll get
separated,
them right back.
of course. Thank you.
You're welcome. Come.
In regards to the variance, how long is that time frame normally? Is that through the town council?
Goes to zoning board of adjustment, then to the town council. Yes.
When do they next meet?
The next meeting is in May, but I think he's too late for that one. So it would be in July.
July.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I'm just curious on this, that obviously you're saying for the side, but I thought when we spoke in February, there was also concern with the height of this trellis, I thought.
Yeah, I don't
If I remember
remember.
correctly.
I know that I looked at what the building official had in the file, and I remember seeing the issue with the setback. I don't remember anything about the height, but I might be wrong.
But I don't know, yeah, because what, is that fence, what, 8? How tall?
That's 6 feet.
6 feet?
Did the building department mention anything
No,
to you
the only
about
thing I
that?
said was the setback.
Okay, well then that might just be that.
And that's the paperwork I provided you.
Okay. All right. Then wait for Dana to come back with the copies to motion the evidence to be brought in, or, well, we got to,
I don't think we have to wait.
No, you don't have to wait.
okay.
Do we have order?
So this-
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a motion to continue. You ready for me?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, you're saying July, so really, we're talking,
Yeah, August.
so July 27th?
Yeah,
Okay.
so the zoning board meeting is going to be in July, and then the town council is going to hear it in August.
So the earliest we could see this again would be the end of August.
Yeah,
August 24th.
yeah, the end of August, yeah.
I'm not sure why if plan review or the building official returned or made his comments on March 3rd, and here we are on April 27th, and you hadn't reached out to submit an application for zoning approval yet.
Well, I mean, I think that was a miscommunication with Melissa.
Is Melissa normally the person that would communicate with an applicant for a permit that it had been rejected?
Yes, yeah, when she was working for us, she was,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, all my emails are with Melissa. And then she disappeared.
Has Melissa been replaced?
Not yet, but we have other employees taking care of the building department.
And did that other employee reach out to?
Eventually I took it into my own hands, and then I tracked down Mandy after, because I want to be done with this. I don't
Right.
want to wait till August. I mean, it's a place I'm trying to enjoy, and I want to know yes or no.
Unfortunately, we're not going to know until very,
I know.
it's literally going to be going to, I guess, August 24th when we have our next, in regards, because you're going to have to go in front of the town council if they approve the variance.
Okay.
So okay, I motion to
Yeah.
to
So,
approve the evidence, or what?
Yeah, you ask for a motion to enter into.
I ask for a
evidence.
motion to enter this into,
into
evidence.
evidence. So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, evidence has been brought in.
Will I have to vote?
We now
All in
need,
favor? All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, all right, or evidence is brought in. I guess now the next would be, is there a motion in regards to
Yeah,
this case?
yes. So based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 22-0050, I move that this board find a respondent I'm sorry. Continue this matter until code enforcement board meeting on the month of August, August 24th, 2022.
Do I hear a second?
We're going to impose fine till then.
This is just continuing. It's putting everything on pause. As I understand it, right, counsel?
Well, I think what we'd want to do is extend the date for compliance to August 23rd or 4th. And then if he gets granted the variance, and then you're gonna have to get your permit, and then they're gonna sign off on the permit, and then you'll be cleared. So I think you'd want to do that and bring him back in August, but I think you're basically extending the date of compliance.
Okay,
And the part about a $50 per day fine may be imposed until compliance is achieved.
That would say, but you wouldn't be imposing a fine until after August 24th or whatever.
okay,
I'll second that motion.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any nays? Haven't heard you, Taylor. That's why I'm asking.
I put my eye
Okay.
in.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Then motion passes. Thank you for,
No fee, right?
at this time,
Okay, yeah.
no, it all comes down to, obviously, you're going through the process.
Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for coming in and bringing us up to date.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys.
Okay,
All right, you guys have a great evening.
you too.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. The next case I see that we have up is case number 22-0101, Mindy Martell Sales. So this, let's see here. And this is what, operating a business. Okay, we're starting the licenses now.
Yeah, and you have a spreadsheet here that explains to you what the business tax was, and then the penalty is 25%, and then the total. And then tonight you're gonna decide if you impose a fine of up to $250 and also impose administrative costs of $100.
Okay. And these folks we've already sent out a letter. When was it that they needed to have done all this? Beginning of the year?
Yeah, it was October, fiscal year, October 1st, 2021.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many notices have they gotten?
I'm not sure, I don't handle those, but I think they got at least 2.
And these are for not renewing their business
Right.
tax receipts.
Right,
And the interesting that you have here in red, could not find on county.
yeah,
So
that's
likely they don't have the county business tax receipt either.
right.
But in the letters and things, I believe, and if I remember correctly, that they also ask that people notify the town to let them know if they're not operating, and then we
Right.
just take them off, which we've had several do that.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, this one, I'm not sure. I've been here for 15 years and Mindy Martell has never not renewed hers. It's the first one that we've ever had to bring to the code board. So I'm not sure why she hasn't. And it's weird she couldn't find it on the county. I know she still lives here, but only part-time. So.
But then we've sent
And
notes.
she has not called me or anything, and she didn't notify the town.
Correct.
And this is for a home-based business.
Yes,
Does she still own the property?
yes. I think her home's an Airbnb.
Is
'Cause
that
she's only
permitted?
there part of the time. So but she comes here still.
And is that what the business tax receipt is for, to operate an Airbnb?
I don't know. It wouldn't be that. It could be a rental home. It's just what people tell me. I'm not positive.
Is the Mindy Martell Sales Inc. the name that this property is owned under in the property appraiser's website?
No, I believe it's her homesteaded home.
Then
Yeah, I'm not sure
how
about
can
that.
she, okay.
I'm not sure about that. I know, I looked it up.
So I know part of her time is she has another home. So I think sometimes she's there and sometimes she's here, but the neighbor said that she rents it out. But it, like I said, it's abnormal for her not to, I've never seen her on this list.
I'm just gonna move this.
How are these taxes derived? I noticed a different amount for the taxes. How do you derive it, or how do we derive it?
I'm actually not sure because I know they're all different.
Yeah.
Some are higher and some are lower. Maybe Emily knows
Usually
why.
based on the category, if it's a retail establishment, this is what I do on the other side of the bridge.
Oh,
And it's based on the type of use. So if it's a merchant retail, it's at one fee. If it's rental dwelling, it's at another fee. If it's a business office, it's a different fee. So, but usually home-based businesses are one fee and they would all be the same. So.
well, hers would be her home because that's the address.
Right.
Yeah, so she is the owner of the property and it is homestead.
Her personally or the
Yeah.
Yeah, she-
corporation?
Her personally, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's owned it for a very long time.
But if she's renting it, it's not supposed to be homesteaded, is it?
No, it's not supposed to.
Do you know what type of business Mindy Martell Sales is?
No, I don't.
She-
I've only known them to buy homes in town.
Maybe she's a
And-
real estate agent.
So I'm not sure. I've never really asked her. But I remember like she used to drop off pens and stuff to us, like cool highlighters and stuff. So I don't know if like she did marketing maybe.
Could be.
Can we call her in front of this board?
That's what the letter's
Well,
for. She
yeah.
didn't.
Right, and she has not.
Yeah,
She
she didn't
didn't
reach
come.
out to the town or anything. So I wish I had more information. It's odd that because obviously she always renews it because she's never been on the list.
And you said that the violation can go from, what is it, $250? What was that?
Yeah, it's up to $250.
And 100 for administrative costs.
Right.
Yeah, there's a state statute and the town code govern business tax receipts on what happens if people don't pay them. You know, if they don't pay, then you go 5% a month up to 25%
Right.
for a
and-
penalty, and then you can do up to $250 fine, and then you can do $100 administrative. So that would be the max. You don't have to do the total fine.
So it's up to 250. And right now, if we were doing 5% a month, where would she be at right now?
25% of $66, which should be the $16.54.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, that's
Right.
what it is.
Kind of
Right.
a little, yeah.
So that's what's on the spreadsheet, those numbers for each one.
Okay. You have a motion?
And we have to have one for each, correct?
Yes.
And order finding a violation.
Hmm.
Okay. All right, so I'll go ahead and I'll start us off with the motions. So based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 22-0101, Mindy Bartell Sales Inc. I move that this board find the respondents in violation of section 54-20, operating a business without a current town of Lake Clark Shores local business tax receipt of the town code of ordinance, and I move that the respondents be ordered to correct the violations on or before May 25th, 2022, or a fine in the amount of $25 a day may be imposed.
No.
No, I don't think that's what you want to do.
Or,
You're sort of limited to the penalty set forth in the
that's
statute.
right, that's right.
Which
So,
is 250.
so I will rephrase my amendment to state that if respondent fails to comply with this order, fine according to the statute or. to the-
I don't know that you even need to give more time. I mean, you can if you want,
Oh, okay.
because they've already,
Exceeded.
Oh,
yeah, they're
I'm sorry.
already
This-
that
this should be
delinquent
an
and
order
everything.
assessing a fine. Sorry,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But when you own a business and you
Yeah.
know you have to renew.
Yeah.
You can also look on the motion list, Ariel, There's a sample motion for the
Yes.
business tax. Yeah.
Right.
Second page.
Oh, on the back.
Mhm.
It looks, yeah, delinquent business tax.
Oh, there we go. Okay. That's even easier. Okay. So based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 22-0101, I move this board find the respondent in violation of section 54-20 of the town code and ordinance and impose an additional penalty in the amount of $25 in addition to the additional penalty. The respondents will be required to pay, the $110.25. I'm sorry.
The second one down.
Yeah, $82.69, which includes the past due business tax and the delinquency penalty. If the respondent is not in compliance by May 25th, a lien will be recorded in the public records of Palm Beach County.
You had said $25. You meant 250?
It's the 1654, unless we're going to the max amount of 250. We don't have to go to the max amount, correct? We can just oppose the 5.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. So it is 1654? Okay.
No,
No, that total.
The
It-
additional amount is
Yeah.
1654.
Yeah, the tax receipt, had they paid it on time, was 6615. Since they're more than 5 months late, you add another 25%, which is a 1654. If you want to add an administrative,
Sorry, I'm just trying to understand.
yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to explain. If you want to add an administrative charge, you could add up to $100 for all the mailing and all the stuff that's gone on. And then if you want to add a penalty, you can add a penalty up to $250. But those would be up to you.
So if we did the 5% penalty, it would be the 16, or the 25% penalty, it'd be the 1654, and we could do an administrative charge of $100, which would be then 182.69 total.
Correct.
We are not imposing the 1654.
Right.
That's
No.
already
Standard.
standard.
Mhm.
So we would be imposing the $100 administrative fee and up to $250 for the penalty fee for each one. And at this point in time, I would be in favor of the maximum penalty on all of them. Unless there are extending circumstances of why they have not come into compliance or why they're not here today to present their case.
They didn't notify us either. There's
Right.
no communication.
So.
Well, and you're more than welcome to issue the,
So then that would be the 350.
On top of
Plus,
80.
On top of the 82.69.
Yes.
well, fantastic. We'll go ahead and start firing away. We're ready to vote.
Okay. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case 220101, I move that this board find the respondent in violation of section 5420 of the town code of ordinances and impose an additional penalty in the amount of $250 and an additional $100 administrative fee. In addition to that penalty and administrative fee, the respondent will be required to pay $82.69 for the renewal of their business tax receipt, which includes the past due business tax receipt and delinquent penalty. If the respondent is not in compliance by May 25th, a lien will be recorded in the public records of Palm Beach County.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
Opposed? Aye.
Oh, your name?
Yeah, there's,
Okay.
you have to ask,
That's Renee.
you have to ask for those who oppose.
Okay. All right. So we had, you said?
Aye.
Aye. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Emily takes the count.
Okay. So 4-1. You got it.
5-1.
5-1.
I'm just curious, are vacation rentals allowed in the town of Lake Clark Shores?
Yes.
Yes.
But I don't think that's what her thing is.
Not what she's doing
No,
necessarily. I'm
it's
just
saying-
curious.
I was just saying, I know that, I don't know how it's worded, because people board their businesses a certain way and they're different than what it says. I don't understand it.
Okay, we have a second business.
So this one I can attest, they actively work in town on a daily basis. He still lives in his home and he does this every year.
He does this every year.
Every year. Just this year, I didn't have time to call him 10 times. I forgot.
Okay.
So,
So we're on case number 22-0096, Michael R. Fritz Landscaping Maintenance, operating a business without a current town of Lake Clark Shores local business tax receipt. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 22-0096, I move that this board find the respondent in violation of section 5420 of the Town Code of Ordinances and impose an additional penalty in the amount of $250 and an additional administrative fee in the amount of $100. In addition to the additional penalty and administrative fee, the respondent will be required to pay $27.56, which includes the past due business tax and the delinquent penalty. If the respondent is not in compliance by May 25th, a lien will be recorded in the public records of Palm Beach County.
Second.
okay. All right. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those against?
Aye.
Okay. So Emily, you got 5-1?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Next one is case number 22-0110, West Palm Endodontics, operating a business without a current town of Lake Clark Shores local business tax receipt. Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the same motion. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 22-0110, I move that this board find the respondent in violation of section 5420 of the Town Code of Ordinances and impose an additional penalty in the amount of $250 and an administrative cost of $100. In addition to the additional penalty, the respondent will be required to pay $110.25, which includes the past due business tax and the delinquent penalty. If the respondent is not in compliance by May 25th, 2022, a lien will be recorded in the public records of Palm Beach County.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 And I oppose.
And all those opposed?
Aye.
Okay. All right, let's go to case number 22-0112, Your Wax RX LLC, operating a business without a current town of Lake Clark Shores local business tax receipt. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 22-0112, I move that this board find the respondent in violation of section 5420 of the Town Code of Ordinances and impose an additional penalty in the amount of $250 as well as a $100 administrative fee. In addition to the additional penalty and administrative fee, the respondent will be required to pay $82.69, which includes the past due business tax and delinquency penalty. If the respondent is not in compliance by May 25th, a lien will be recorded in the public records of Palm Beach County.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay. The motion passes. Okay. Next case, case 22-0099, Justin Terry LLC, operating a business without a current town of Lake Clark Shores local business tax receipt. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the same motion, but I have a question. What is it? The fee is substantially more than the others on this list. Is
It's
it based on the type of business?
yeah, from what I was
We were
told,
talking about that one earlier.
yeah, it's a psychic business.
Okay.
It's a what kind of business?
Psychic.
And they didn't know they had to be here today?
Didn't have to send a notice.
They didn't consult their psychic.
All right, based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 220099, I move that this board find the respondent in violation of section 5420 of the Town Code of Ordinances and impose an additional penalty in the amount of $250 as well as a $100 administrative fee. In addition to the additional penalty, the respondent will be required to pay $1,722.66, which includes the past due business tax and the delinquency penalty. If the respondent is not in compliance by May 25th, a lien will be recorded in the public records of Palm Beach County.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next on our agenda is board comments, suggestions, and updates. Anyone have any comments? I think, Emma, you had something that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, so we have the town barbecue on May 15th, and we need volunteers.
You
So if-
coming to pass out ice cream.
yes, we need an ice cream captain that's gonna be available all day, pretty much. And then also, we need a captain for the dignitary table. So anyone coming, like officials coming from other cities or, you know, the county or senators, they're gonna have their own table where they check in and we issue them a wristband. So so we're looking for those two captains and also just volunteers, you know, for the food. We especially need volunteers for the second shift. It's from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. So that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of times people ask why the stumps are important. So I don't know whether you know this or not. It's because of the termites. They get infested and then, so if somebody asks you, it's the ground termites get into them. That's why the town wants them to move the tree stumps.
Okay, did not know that.
Context.
There you go.
Good to know.
Learn something new.
I asked that 20 years ago because the people would debate, you know, they do it down to the ground, they put grass over it, and then they end up having termites. And the neighbors get termites and all kinds of issues. But I asked that question 20 years ago. So. Also for the new members, if they want to, while I'm here, I can give them a quick tour of the police station if they want to see where our emergency operations center is.
And the senior pool,
I'm sorry.
the senior pool as well.
The who?
No,
Senior
a
pool.
lot
Come
of-
on.
Got a pool?
No, remember the old high school prank? Come on. You trick the freshmen into thinking.
We haven't been in high school here in
Come on.
5 decades
I know.
almost. or
Yeah,
whatever.
I need 3 for myself.
If-
Come on.
If you're interested, and our facility has been used by the NSA, CIA, and the FBI on national security. I could show you.
Very cool.
Which we use for emergency operations during the hurricane season.
Very nice.
It's about a 10-minute tour.
I will certainly take you up on that.
I
Yeah.
would definitely
See,
do that too.
you know, if you come there, you can see what goes on.
I wish I had time.
I highly recommend it. Police chief has already done that for me, and you feel much better about living in this community and what we have and about our law enforcement. So highly recommend it to all of you.
I do have a question. How much time does the police department spend on the code enforcement approximately a week?
I mean, I do it every day. There's always something,
We,
but I wear a lot of hats. too.
yeah,
I know, I realize that.
we,
I just started.
are we still audio or is that done?
No.
Yeah, we're still in the meeting.
Yeah.
I can wait.
Well, if you wait till after, I can give you the summary real quick. I just don't want to stir up a hornet's nest.
Okay, I guess I don't either.
How many code enforcement officers do we have?
Just me.
An army of one.
I guess if I can make one request or only as a resident, but in the code enforcement, but I guess, as you know, there's always people that seem to always are repeat offenders, or maybe they're not, but in regards to trash overflowing onto the street. I don't know if code enforcement could typically on a Monday and Thursday.
The guys are writing them, but it's just, there's always so much going on. We're so small, so we try to get to them. But that's why Mr. Clark helped with and the council with the ordinance, and some of the guys have been also writing them. They write a few of them a week. But sometimes now that the word's getting out that if you get your first violation, your next one is a $125 fine.
Mm-hmm.
So no one's hit that yet, but it's getting more and more active. But it's not the same people always too.
Right. No, it just,
When we go off, I can explain it real quick. It's a simple logistics. It's better to have one person doing it in a small community than having 3 or 4. So that's why I've been reluctant not to have all the police officers involved, because people interpret things different. That roof is very bad. Somebody else says, I don't think it's that bad. So then somebody writes somebody over here, and then somebody doesn't get written here. So we kind of go in sections. So a lot of times when we hit a section, people get notices, and then those people are driving and they see other areas, but they don't know we hadn't been to those areas yet. And a lot of times I tell people you can go online and see what we've been doing as far as bringing a lot of stuff. We discuss with people and they comply. It's all about compliance. And the majority of the people want to comply. You're always going to have some people you're going to have to bring before the code board, and they may have legitimate reasons and stuff. So when I first came here, code enforcement was run out of town hall. And there was always a lot of issues, and they felt that it would be better if the police department did it. So I told them I'd be more than happy. So I think it's better to have it that way. We try to treat everybody equally. We've cited people on the council, water violations and different things. So we, and Dana has a good rapport with people. We're very, very accommodating. And I think people in this type of community want us to be accommodating and helpful.
I'm just curious, do you also write around, we have police officers that go on the lake. So are we going in the boat also looking and?
So I actually had that discussion, and I'm going to be going out on the boat to do docks and seawalls because I think some of them need some attention. But complaints are always welcome. I am not by any means perfect. I do not see anything. I will never get upset when someone gives me a complaint. Paul Hughes is wonderful. You cannot be anonymous. He'll send me a picture. Hey, can you take care of this? And it's great because I've already got a photo. He took it, I print it, and I run right out and take care of it like that. Like if you give me a complaint, I'm really good, except for if I'm doing payroll, because that's like a really important factor. I will stop what I am doing, or if we're working with a criminal case or something, but very, very likely I will stop what I'm doing and go follow up on your complaint. So I welcome them. You can shoot me an email. Hey, can you take a look at this? A photo is great because then I know what you're looking at. I don't see everything. You're always welcome, like vegetation, if you feel that's a safety issue, the officers are responding to it, or loose dogs or loud music they're helping with. You're welcome to call it into our dispatch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You'll never get a hard time. Our guys are pretty good about it and happy to go out and they'll address it. So if you feel that there's a particular address you want to make sure that we took care of, just call it into dispatch and they'll respond.
The state laws have changed. You can't be anonymous anymore. We used to have anonymous lines, but you can check with council, but they changed that because you had a lot of neighbors issues. So,
right.
People want to know, and generally in the criminal code, criminal law, you have a right to know your accuser. So in code enforcement, they changed that, right, counselor, the law where
That's
you
correct.
just can't call anonymous if it's.
Right.
It's actually alleviated a lot for me because neighbors love to use me as their tool.
There's a
And now
news,
they
yeah.
don't get to anymore. So it's actually, it's been
I
very
bet.
helpful.
It was recent, right? That
Yeah.
change, yeah.
Last year.
But I was just curious if there was any time allotted for, I guess, touring in the boat.
We do. So I actually just got 2 guys signed up because it's very hard for me to just jump on the boat and go and do it, maneuver the boat. Some of our waters are a little shallow, and write the violations, or take photos, look at all these other things. Cause I try to go house to house because I don't like to target just one person. That's just not how I operate. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to do it. If it's a safety issue, like I've told when they take the boat out, if you guys see a safety issue, snap a photo, I'll take care of it right away. Safety's a big proponent, for us. But I was actually just talking with them. I have 2 guys going to Marine class. We lost our Marine patrol. We keep losing them. People are moving on, using us as a stepping stone. So I have 2 guys that they're signed up. PBSO was nice enough to allow them to come to their training so that we can get them certified to take the boat out. And then, and do other things on it as well. Safety stops with jet skis and boats. And I will jump on the boat with them and we'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It's just a matter of getting some time to do it. So it'll be done. But if you're out on the water and you notice something, absolutely grab a photo of it and I'll assess it right away. So it's, I welcome complaints at all times.
Because in all honesty,
I'm upset with you.
right, because even though it's in your backyard, same rules apply as it were the front yard when it's the lake. I just want to.
Yes, like, boat docks, sea walls, open storage, hoarding, things like that. But like having boats and trailers, no. The code doesn't say they have to be obscured from the waterway. So it's, there's a few different things, but for the most part, basic. Your fences, your sheds, some of the things that you don't see from the roadway. So it's pretty much the same.
Same structural
Mhm.
requirements,
Tree stumps,
conditions.
things like
yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be great, honestly.
But you're welcome if you have anything concerning to talk to us about.
Always. I've never, ever given anybody a hard time about complaining.
No, you guys have been fabulous since I've lived here and have jumped on everything. I'm just thought of that just now while sitting here during our discussion, because the lake is just like if it's someone's front yard, right? I mean, it's in plain view. And that's part of the beauty of why we're here, to be honest with you. I think it's just as important.
Yep.
And that we can
Mhm.
allocate time on a regular basis.
Code enforcement will be stepped up as we are getting less and less shorthanded with the road patrol too, because I do help out with that as well. So it'll get stepped up, roofs
Okay.
and driveways, but for the most part, I don't have as many issues as I used to. It's pretty good. It's little things.
Got it. Anyone else? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
A motion adjournment.
Second. Okay, I have 7:23. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Who's
They
seconded?
go off the air,
Who seconded?
off the air.
All done.